Greetings and welcome to the Division of Extension Civil Rights 101 training course. In this introduction to civil rights in extension, we will get answers to the following questions. What are civil rights? What is discrimination? And why do civil rights matter in extension? So let's get started.
What are civil rights? Civil rights are guarantees of equal social opportunities and equal protection under the law. Examples of civil rights include the right to vote, the right to government services, and the right to use public facilities. Civil rights are an essential component of democracy. When individuals are denied opportunities to participate in society, they are being denied their civil rights. Civil rights laws attempt to guarantee full and equal access for people who have traditionally been discriminated against based on some group characteristics.
What is discrimination? In the context of civil rights law, discrimination refers to unfair or unequal treatment of an individual or group based on certain characteristics. These characteristics include race, color, national origin, sex, age, disability, and others. Discrimination can take on many forms, both intentional and unintentional. It can be directed at a specific person or group, or be part of an organizational policy. An example of intentional discrimination would be sending a person with limited English proficiency away without assistance until they bring an English-speaking person with them to interpret. This type of discrimination is often called disparate treatment because an individual is treated differently because of a certain characteristic, in this case, limited English proficiency.
Sometimes discrimination can take a more subtle and usually unintentional form called disparate impact or adverse impact. This could result from policies or practices that seem to be neutral but result in unfavorable treatment on a protected group. For example, offering programs in locations accessible only by car may have a disproportionate adverse impact on those with disabilities or racial groups that rely more heavily on public transportation, even though discrimination was not intentional. So, whether discrimination is intentional or the unintended consequence of a policy or practice, our focus is on preventing discrimination in the first place. But why do civil rights and preventing discrimination matter to us in extension?
Why do civil rights matter in extension? There are several good reasons. First, it's the law. Organizations that receive federal funding are obligated to comply with federal civil rights, equal opportunity, and non-discrimination laws in their employment, services, and programming. Extension receives financial assistance through agencies of the United States Department of Agriculture as part of the federal land grant system. In the next lesson, we'll learn what specific laws prohibit discrimination in federally funded programs like Extension. Also, as part of the University of Wisconsin-Madison, we are committed to providing equal opportunity and equal access in compliance with all applicable federal and state laws and regulations and University of Wisconsin non-discrimination policies and procedures.
Extension's mission is to connect people with the University of Wisconsin. Remember, all people have the right to programs and services that may enrich their lives. You can say that we are the Wisconsin idea in action. The origin of the Wisconsin idea is often attributed to former UW President Charles Van Nuys, who in a 1905 address declared, "I shall never be content until the beneficent influence of the university reaches every family of the state." Over time, the Wisconsin idea has come to signify the university's commitment to public service. And considering the Division of Extension's responsibility to remain relevant and responsive as a 21st century public serving institution, we recognize the need for strategic and coordinated actions that help us form a more equitable, anti-racist, non-biased, and inclusive organization. When it comes to our educational programming, this means redressing historical disparities, adapting to shifts in state demographics, and tailoring programming priorities to address new and emergent issues and audiences.
Our goal is to achieve equity through parity. An extension program is in parity when the participation of individuals from groups protected by civil rights laws reflects their proportionate representation in the population of the targeted community. So that's why civil rights matter in extension. It's the law, it's our mission, it's the Wisconsin idea in action, and it's the right thing to do.
Now let's review the main takeaways from this introduction. Civil rights are guarantees of equal social opportunities and equal protection under the law. In the extension context, all people have the right to programs and services that will enrich their lives. Discrimination refers to unfair or unequal treatment of an individual or group based on certain characteristics. These characteristics include race, color, national origin, sex, age, disability, and others. Discrimination can be intentional or the unintended consequence of a policy or practice. Civil rights matter in extension because it's the law, it's our mission, it's the right thing to do.